Number 5, Giant Mushroom Tree has a question. Hey, Mike, I'm double-minded and depressed. I want real salvation, but I have a hard time fully surrendering. Good works and prayer feel like pushing a boulder up a hill. Any advice? Well, Giant Mushroom Tree, this is a situation where I would want to, again, I say this occasionally, but I say it because I think it needs to be said. I would want to just sit with you, and I'm sorry I don't have the ability. There's too many requests that come in to do it, practically speaking, but I would want to just sit with you and listen and talk to you and ask you 100 questions before giving you counsel on these issues, because details are so important here. So one thing I'd recommend is reach out to a local leader, a godly person. Doesn't matter if they're officially a pastor or not. Think in your life, who do I know that's godly, that will give me the time of day, that will sit down with me and listen and let me talk about these issues, that's wise. You want someone who's, let me add wise to the word godly here, because I just think it'll help you pick a good person. They're not only godly, they are wise, right? When in the book of Acts chapter 7, I think it is, no, 5? Acts chapter 5, they wanted to appoint people to be over certain ministries in the church, the giving of the food to the widows and the distribution. And they said they wanted to find people who were filled with the Spirit and wisdom. That's why I say godly and wise, right? They're filled with the Spirit and wisdom. That is, wise words flow from their mouth. They listen and they and they say something a little bit wiser than the next guy. Find that person and talk to them and dig into this issue. Now, to give you a few little things that might give you some help, you say, I'm double-minded and depressed. And you're really struggling because you feel like it's hard to surrender. It's hard to obey God. I just want to tell you that's okay. It's okay that it's hard. And it's okay that for a season, maybe even for a long season, things are difficult and you're struggling. There's an old story I heard long ago, and I think it's probably true. I'm not a plant guy, but it's an analogy from trees, and it's something that helped me through hard seasons of my life thinking about it. And the idea is this: is that during drought, you will see trees dry up and leaves can fall from the trees and they look like they're dying. But it's during these same seasons of drought that at least some trees, their roots are actually, they're still growing. Their roots are digging down deeper, and the roots are digging deeper to get better access to water. And so sometimes we go through sometimes lifelong seasons of difficulties and trials, because outwardly you feel I feel like I'm falling apart, but your roots are going deeper down into that living water, into Christ. And there's a growth that happens through struggles and trials that doesn't happen any other way. And so I'm sorry, if I could snap my fingers, I would, in my human lack of wisdom, just make everything better for you. But in the light of eternity, you're going to see that these current struggles, I'm double-minded, I feel depressed, I feels like pushing a boulder uphill to do prayer and good works. You're going to find that this labor is going to have growth. You're exercising spiritual muscles to follow Christ and to obey Christ and to pray and to seek Him. And there will be spiritual growth as you feel torn down. You'll be getting built up. And Paul talked about this when he says, when I'm weak, then I'm strong. So you don't have to fix these things. You have to seek to obey Christ in these things. And often sometimes it's when we stop trying to fix the problems that the problems do get easier, because we're resigned to obedience in the middle of difficulty. And that is a big boulder that's moving. Just that resignation to, I'm just going to obey you. I'm just going to trust you, God. I'm just going to keep seeking you. And so beyond that, I would encourage you to seek counsel and get more advice on these things.